Today's question is asking about what's going on with Netflix. Check it out.
Hey, John and crew, this is Nathan. I'm not sure if you guys have talked about this on the show yet, but Netflix is shutting down their DVD mailing service side of their company, and the Redbox CEO said that he wants to buy it, but hasn't been in contact with Netflix yet. I was wondering if you think that's something that might actually happen, and if you think that that might be the boost that Redbox needs to become popular again. So, love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for calling that in, Nathan. Yeah, listen, Netflix, it's easy to forget that Netflix started as and became a giant as a DVD company. And it was the greatest thing ever. I remember as a movie fan, the idea as a movie fan who would 3 times a week go to Rogers Video or Blockbuster or whatever with my buddies and stuff like that, or if I was dating somebody at the time, and going and picking out movies. But the ability to just jump onto a website, Netflix's website, create a queue, like of all the movies you want to watch, then pay, what was it, like $19 a month or something like that?
I don't know. My parents were the ones paying for it.
Yeah, well, I'm going
thing.
to guess like, there was a range. You could have like a 1 DVD package, a 2 DVD package, or a 3 DVD package.
At one point, I went to 5.
Did it go up that high?
Yeah, because I wanted to binge 24 like we were talking about.
And basically what that meant was a 1 DVD package meant you could have 1 DVD at a time. So Netflix would go to your queue that you created, and whatever movie was at the top of your queue, if you had the 1 DVD package, they would mail that out to you. And you'd get that glorious red envelope that would show up, and that was your movie. Now, if you had the 2 DVD package, they'd go to your queue and see the top 2 films in your queue, 3, 4, 5, so on and so on. And then when you were done with it, you would mail them back. And once they got them back, they would go to your queue, see what are the next movies on your list, and mail them out to you. It was great. It was absolutely great. It reminded me of when... I
always love this one.
What's that? I told an 18-year-old that they used to get Netflix delivered to me in the mail, and I'm pretty sure he thought I was lying. It's true. It's true. So it reminded me a lot of when Apple started selling individual songs on iTunes. Like that was a game changer, right? So that's what they used to be. Well, a lot of people didn't even realize they were still running that business. They are still today running that mail order DVD business, but they are closing it down, and Redbox wants to get in on it. This comes to us from the folks over at the Hollywood Reporter who wrote the following. Could Netflix's red DVD envelopes and Redbox's bright red DVD kiosks someday be part of the same company? Bill Rashona, the CEO of Redbox, owner of Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment, sure hope so. I'd like to buy it, the CEO over at Redbox said of Netflix's DVD business in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter on Wednesday. I wish Netflix would sell me that business instead of just shutting it down. Redbox is already the biggest DVD rental company in the U.S. with a network of some 32,000 red DVD kiosks across the country. Just this week, it announced plans to add another 1,500 kiosks at Dollar General stores. They say the Dollar General stores are some of the company's most profitable. Okay, so he goes on to say that he's approached Netflix in the past asking if Redbox can buy their DVD business. Now, I don't know what that would entail, if it would mean buying their inventory of all these DVDs, if Redbox would want to get into the mailing aspect of it like Netflix had done. I'm not quite sure what it was. But in the question of, could this move, if Netflix did decide to sell their DVD business to Redbox, could that make Redbox popular again? And the answer is, nothing will make Redbox popular again. Physical media is dying. And nothing is going to... What you're seeing right now is the last gasps of a particular industry, the DVD industry. The last gasps. There's only a few drops of water left, and these companies like Redbox are scurrying to try to get as much of those last drops as possible. But at some point, those last drops are going to be gone too. Right? So could it be beneficial for Redbox to actually acquire Netflix's business? Yeah, it would be beneficial. It would keep them going for a while longer. Not indefinitely, but it would keep them going for a while longer. But Netflix is not going to sell it to them. And why not? Why not sell it to them? Instead of just shutting it down, why not get something for it and sell it? There's actually a really good reason why. Now, to get that reason why, let's look at a little bit of a history of Netflix here, shall we? So here's a bit of a history. So 1997, Netflix is founded, and in 1 year later, in 1998, they start their DVD mailing business, again, which just kind of changed the game. And they grew and they grew and they grew to in 2007, they hit 10 million DVD subscribers. 10 million. Now understand, in 2007, if it was like $20, depending on how big your package was, let's say the average was like $15, right? The average customer was spending $15. That's $150 million a month that they were getting. That's like $1.8 billion a year for a little startup company that grew into that. Now, here's the problem though. Fast forward to 2021, their DVD revenue went from like $1.8 billion a year to $187 million a year. The following year, in 2022, that dropped again down to 146 million. Now, understand this though. While their DVD business was making 146 million, their streaming business was generating 30 billion. That's a discrepancy. There's a little bit of a gap there. So Netflix is listening. We have two main arms of our business. We have our streaming and our mailing DVD. The mailing DVD generated 146 million in profit, 146 million in revenue. Whereas our streaming revenue, they were still losing money at the time, but their streaming revenue was $30 billion. Clearly, one matters and one didn't. Now, earlier, just the other day, Netflix announced that they were going to end their DVD business by September. So if you're still a member of their DVD shipping business, you're still in luck until September, but then they're just shutting it down. So why, when you look at these numbers and you look at this rundown of the history of Netflix, why wouldn't Netflix just sell off? I mean, look, what can they get? Like maybe 200 million? Maybe $175 million? Like, why not take $175 million from Redbox instead of just shutting the company down and getting nothing? Here's why. Because despite the fact that Netflix was founded on physical media, Netflix wants physical media to die. They want it to die now. They don't want to help keep Redbox going, because if people are renting their entertainment from Redbox or whatever, they don't need to watch Netflix streaming. Now, there's not a one-to-one direct correlation. Of course it's not, but it's the principle. Netflix, as an exclusive now streaming company, now that they're shutting down their DVD mailing, as an exclusive streaming company, they want physical media to die. And they're not villains for wanting that. Of course they do. That is the death of physical media is good for business for them. Again, just look at it. When they hit their pinnacle in 2007 with 10 million DVD subscribers, generating $1.5 to $1.8 billion in revenue a year. That's adorable. That's cute. We now generate 30 billion or more every year in revenue. And we will only get bigger as long as physical media dies. They want it to die. That's why they ain't going to sell it. Anyway, Chris, I think it makes sense why Redbox would want to buy out Netflix's business.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fact that their DVD business still exists today, the fact that they've announced that they're closing it down, and do you think they should sell it off to Redbox? What do you think?
I mean, I would love for them to sell them off to Redbox, but I think to your point, they won't. You know, when we were talking about the story off air, I was joking around saying, I didn't even know Netflix was still doing these discs and everything. But, you know, Jen's grandparents use them and a lot of other people use this. When you look at the actual media that we're able to stream to, I'm just going to channel Robert Meyer Burnett here for a moment, because physical media does matter, right? The amount of things that you can stream is very limited compared to what's actually been created. We look at what happened with Warner Brothers with their big animation dump. A whole bunch of shows now do not exist anymore. They just point blank do not exist unless you had the propensity to go buy the DVDs or the Blu-rays or whatever prior to this. We kind of took for granted that things would always be available to us. And once streamers dump them, we will never watch these things again. That's why I look ridiculous. I still have like a early aughts style binder of my CDs with all my music. My DVDs are in there and all of that. And I just keep them in this thing. And they're still there because even though I usually go, oh yeah, I'm going to watch Princess Bride streaming on something, I want to make sure I still have my copy of Princess Bride because I'm going to be heartbroken the day that I can't stream that, and there will come a day. There absolutely will, where certain films, even classics to us, probably aren't going to be available, right? Just on certain platforms or whatever. So I do think it's really heartbreaking that some of these models are dying, but also from a business standpoint, it does make sense. Most of us don't know that they're still doing this. Redbox, we do associate as something you like stop by, I guess, when you're on your way to a 7-Eleven and go, oh yeah, there's a rom-com I'll rent real quick. It's not something that we see in the everyday zeitgeist being advertised. So it makes sense for business. It's financially viable to get rid of this, at least in Netflix's terms, and to not sell it off to the competitor because they do want you to just tune into streaming and they don't want you to have those other options. Which I know you said it doesn't make him a villain. Gosh, it sounds like a bad guy in a movie though, right? We're like, oh, those capitalists.
I get it, but it's business, right? I mean, you want your whole bread and butter now is made with people going streaming.
Exactly. And to that too, I would say everyone gets very up in arms when it comes to big things like this, right? About like, oh my gosh, these companies are killing physical media. Are you all going out and buying physical media? I often don't. I will tell you right now, I'm very guilty of this if I only go get special edition things sometimes. So there's tons of stores around that you can still go to. But Blockbuster, for the most part, died because we all found this to be much more convenient.
Yeah.
So you can't have this outrage about physical media going away while you're not supporting the physical media being there. So if you still want these things, just go out and get them, you guys. You're going to be a little inconvenienced, but then you're going to have it.
You raise the ultimate point. It is not these companies that are killing physical media. You killed physical media. I killed physical. We all kill physical media. Listen, companies want to make money. They will go wherever there is money to be made. These companies, like I remember when Samsung, who is the world's #1 producer of physical Blu-ray players, when they announced, Rob and I covered this, when they announced that they were going to stop making Blu-ray players because nobody was buying them. Like, that's why. It's not the companies that are killing it. The companies are shutting down because y'all said you don't want to buy this stuff anymore. And that's just been the reality. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Netflix, first of all, I bet 90% of you didn't even know they were still mailing DVDs, but they have decided they're shutting it down. Redbox wants to get in on that. It doesn't look like Netflix is going to oblige them. Whatever you think about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much needed break. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know that ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been saving almost 70% a month over my old phone plan. For people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.